If you want invisible hearing aids, you're gonna love this. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, and in this video, I'm talking about how invisible hearing aids just got a lot better. Now, every year when I put together my annual Best Hearing Aid Video series, I always make a Best Invisible Hearing Aids video. I mean, let's face it, even though the vast majority of people with hearing loss do not care at all if somebody else can see their hearing aids, there still are some people out there who do not want their hearing aids to be visible. The good news is, hearing aid manufacturers have done a terrific job of making their hearing aids significantly smaller without having to sacrifice a lot of performance. Generally speaking, there are only 3 different hearing aid styles. You have the behind the ear, which is often abbreviated BTE, you have the receiver in canal style, which is abbreviated RIC, and you have the in the ear style, which is abbreviated ITE. BTEs are generally larger devices that go behind your ears, like the name would suggest, with tubes that go down into a custom ear mold inside of your ear. These are primarily intended for individuals with severe to profound levels of hearing loss, and they are definitely not invisible. Receiver and canal hearing aids also go behind your ears, but they are much smaller and they have a small wire that goes down into a rubber dome or custom ear mold that is usually further inside of your ear canal, and these are getting smaller and smaller over time as well, which means that they are less and less visible. However, it is the ITE style of hearing aid that is taking invisibility to a new level. Technically, there are several different sizes of in-the-ear hearing aids. You have the full shell in the ear, you have the half shell, you have the in the canal, you have the completely in the canal, and you have the invisible in the canal, which is abbreviated IIC. The IIC literally fits entirely inside of your ear canal, and it is invisible unless you tell someone to look directly inside of your ear. All of the major hearing aid manufacturers have an IIC version of an in-the-ear hearing aid that you take out at night when you go to bed and you put back inside of your ear in the morning when you wake up. But only one hearing aid manufacturer, Phonak, today's video sponsor, has an extended wear invisible in the canal hearing aid called Lyric. But before I tell you the difference of this extended wear Lyric device versus all of these other daily wear invisible in the canal hearing aids, do me a huge favor and click the like button because it really helps out the channel, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss a newly released video. That being said, it is greatly appreciated. Now let's talk about the Lyric. The Lyric is completely unique in that it stays inside of your ear canal for up to 4 months at a time, giving you 24/7 hearing, and it is the only 100% invisible hearing aid in the world. How it works is that your hearing care professional will identify the appropriate size of Lyric device based on the diameter of your ear canal and the proper depth to insert the Lyric device to make sure that they get a perfect fit. Then they will digitally program these Lyric devices for you based on your specific hearing loss that was identified during your hearing evaluation. Once your devices are programmed, they will insert these Lyric hearing aids inside of your ear canals using their professional insertion tool. After they confirm that you have a comfortable fit, they may make some additional programming adjustments to make sure that you are hearing your best, and then you're good to go. Then every 3 to 4 months, you go back to your hearing care professional's office so they can remove the old Lyric device and replace it with a brand new one. The people who love Lyric love them because they don't have to fuss with them. They don't have to change batteries, they can sleep in them, they can shower in them, and they can get 24/7 tinnitus suppression because these devices stay on all the time unless you decide to turn them off. Now, Lyric has been around since 2007, and they have definitely developed a cult following of thousands of different hearing aid users. But how did Lyric actually get better for individuals who want invisible hearing aids? Okay, so on April 12th, 2024, the FDA just cleared self-replacement for Lyric hearing aids. So what does this mean? It now means that you can self-remove and self-replace your own Lyric devices without having to go in and see your hearing care professional every time you need them exchanged. How this works is that once you are considered to be an experienced Lyric user, which means that you've been wearing your devices for at least 3 months, then your hearing care professional can train you not only how to self-remove your own Lyric hearing aids, but replace your own Lyric devices, so every other time you need an exchange, you can do it yourself. Replacing your own devices is actually pretty simple. So you just take your removal tool to pull out your old Lyric device out of your ears. So let me see if I can get this one out here. All right. There we go. We got my old Lyric device out. Let me set that over to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up my box that has my replacement inside of it. and pull out the new Lyric device. Now I'm gonna hold this up to the camera here so you guys can see it. On the very back of that, you can see a black dot towards the top. That indicates the top of the Lyric hearing aid. And then what I do is I basically grab onto those same removal strings right here, making sure I keep that proper orientation here. And then I just get it started inside of my ear canal, making sure that I have that proper orientation like I mentioned before. Then you take your hand like this, so, hang loose, and then you just gently tuck that device down into your ear canal, and you can kind of see where you get to that just point where you can't push any further, and I can't even feel it right now. So it's down in the right location, everything sounds really good. You might notice a little bit of a whistling when you put it inside of your ear like that, but now I have a properly seated Lyric device down inside of my ear canal. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Cliff, I don't know if I can actually do that myself. Well, to get FDA approval, Phonak had to go through some actual FDA trials with this to make sure that people were capable of doing this on their own. Check out this data from their clinical study. Out of 56 experienced Lyric users who were trained in Lyric self-replacement, 52 of them were able to successfully replace their own devices on their first attempt after training. 3 of them were able to successfully replace after their second attempt, and 1 after their third attempt. Not only was this safe to do, but the variability of the placement location was minimal, meaning that once you self-replace it yourself, the performance of the device should be very similar to what the performance was when it was professionally placed by your hearing care professional. Once you've proven to your hearing care professional that you can actually do this, what will happen is that when you go into them for your professional replacement of your Lyric devices, they will send you home with a pre-programmed set of Lyric hearing aids turned off. And then when 3 to 4 months goes by and you're ready to actually exchange your own devices, you will take out your nifty Lyric self-replacement kit that has your devices inside of it, right here, and then you will use your SoundLink tool right here to activate your own Lyric devices and then put them back inside of your own ears. Effectively, this makes it so you could go up to 5 to 6 months in between visits with your hearing care professional. Not only does this save you time because just replacing your own Lyric devices only takes around 5 minutes for most individuals. I mean, it probably took me, a minute to run my own exchange there, but it also saves you time because you don't have to travel in to see your hearing care professional. It also gives you peace of mind because if you forget you're wearing your Lyric devices and you go do a cannonball into the pool and those devices stop working, you can self-replace your own hearing aids without you having to make an emergency visit to your hearing care professional. I myself happen to be more of a do-it-yourself type of guy, so I really enjoy this aspect of doing self-replacement. Now, if you're someone who does not like the idea of having to self-replace your own Lyric devices, don't worry, you can still go back into your hearing care professional and they'll do it for you. Fortunately, if you are someone who just wants your hearing aids to be as invisible as possible, that's really good news because the technology is improving year after year and these devices are getting smaller and smaller, which means that they are getting even more invisible, and on top of that, they are getting more convenient to use.